What's up, Cranky?
Well, another day in the books almost. I've had better days. I've had worse days, but we shall resolve all issues before this stream is done.
There you go.
And save America.
Hey, sounds good to me. Let's do it.
I'm in.
Oh, let's see here. Like we were saying, Mike was here at 10:28 a.m. Want to make sure he gets credit for being the first one in. And
better do that.
Yeah. And let's see. So here, I'll let you start off because I know you were saying I don't know if you got like a little bit of a cranky rant.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Go for it.
Well, it's a two topic.
Okay.
Hey, Emerald Coast. Good to see you. Here we go. Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. We're live. Yeah. So, well, I was talking a little bit earlier about. I got to turn my phone down. I got YouTube on my phone, and Emerald Coast. I hope you are doing well. But I failed miserably a test from God Almighty. And did you ever know there was an Easter Monday, Mishy? I never knew of such a thing until this year.
You know what? I didn't. I never knew that they made Good Friday a national holiday until this year. So,
well, I can handle Good Friday, but Easter Monday
on the radio today about Easter Monday, but I just thought it was back when before school districts started screwing with stuff, and kids usually had this week off.
Yeah. I know what the heck. But, what the heck is that all about?
Yeah. So I was the explanation that I was given back when my son was still in it was high school. Well, late middle school, early high school was. Well, the intermediate school districts, okay, my son doesn't go to the intermediate school district. Why are they determining what my kid's school district does? Where, they're either off the week before Easter instead of the week after, or they don't get a winter break because Easter falls here, or, this silliness. But, I've never heard of Easter Monday until they were actually on the radio this morning. They were talking about the Pope passing away, and they said something about Easter Monday, and I didn't really think anything of it, but
I'm sure we'll
come up with all kinds of reasons to not do what they're supposed to.
I'm sure we'll have to discuss the Pope thing here to some degree, if you want to do that. But today I mentioned to you in the chat before about family, shall we say? Can you say mob on here, or is it anyway? The big long black limo pulls up out in front of your house tonight. I'm sorry. The living situation here is hey, FG Stacker, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. The living situation here is still the same after this 2 months of moving in is now 10 months, and
right.
The pressure it's put on Miss Laura is just incredible, and I'm having a real hard time at times with that. But the comment I made earlier about 30-somethings and ignorance. I think I used those two terms in the same sentence. So, hey, Chris in Virginia, good to see you. Thank you. Chris in Virginia, by the way, has he and his wife have taken a and I hope you don't mind me mentioning this, Chris. Hey, SMC. They have a new doggy, and she's I think she's a rescue of sorts, and maybe they can get into that in the chat over there when they're talking. But she
Yeah.
sounds a lot like Franny, the class clown, and I think that has to do with um, the Labradoodle breed. But they're so sweet, they're so
Yeah.
stinking cute. You can't help but love them. But anyway, I was talking about the situation with underdeveloped personalities in their 30s and that type of thing. Oh, that ties into what my and here we go, everybody. This is going to be a little bit of a Mishi has given me blessing to do a little mini rant here.
Go for it.
So here we go. Oh, and I see he got her first checkup today, so we'll have to hear about the doggy checkup. But anyway, we have a 96 gallon trash container receptacle for weekly weekly pickup, and City of Omaha. I've rapidly become the Trump syndrome. The anybody but Trump. Well, I'm currently living the anybody but our current mayor, anybody but Stothert syndrome. So anyway, they hired a different company. We had Deffenbaugh, and everything was, they were really easy to work with and everything, and big company. And so this company came in a couple of years ago, and we got this 96 gallon receptacle. Well, I thought we had a 48 gallon one, and so it's like, okay, well, we'll just get another one, and when the kids are gone, please, someday soon. When they go, we'll just cut back to one container again, because with the three of us here, we don't really need it. But
right,
here's what we had to do in order to get another. Well, first of all, I found out I had a 96 gallon one. That's the biggest one you can get.
Okay.
But if you fill out some paperwork and you are a family of 5 or more, you are permitted to fill out some paperwork and request another container. But there's a couple of little strings attached. You have to go online to their website. They will not do this for you. And this is a city office that strictly deals with this entire administrative payroll in our city government is committed to overseeing the trash collection services, trash and recycling services in the city of Omaha. But they won't do anything for you. They just oversee it. So you go online, you get the form, you print the form. You have to list the names and dates of birth of the family members residing in the home.
No.
Yep. So you have to do that. You have to list the names and birth dates of everybody that's living in the house, and you have to have it notarized. T-Bird, thanks for coming in. You have to have this thing notarized in order to get a trash receptacle. So I kind of lost it and went off on this lady a little bit. And I was as polite as I could possibly be, because you know me, I'm a customer service kind of guy, and I like to keep it PG anyway. But I lost it.
Yeah, but you can only take so much.
I mean, come on, man. So they're talking, well, we're worried about, we don't want any fraud, they don't want to. It's like, wait a minute. You're I said, this is really a sad state of affairs, young lady. This, the poor girl on the phone, she was really actually kind of a biscuit of sorts. But yeah, it's like, you're worried about fraud. With somebody asking for an extra trash can. I mean, what kind of city are we living in? You can't drive up and down the streets without breaking an axle in my side of town. but
Right.
you got to worry about fraud when it comes to trash pickup. It was absolutely ludicrous. So yeah, you got to list everybody their dates of birth, and I'm like, okay, well, is this in any way, shape, or form related to maybe you know uh, mob business? Want to know because the city has to pay for the extra receptacle with the company. I'm like, well, wait a minute, they're paid for. Anyway, that's just sounded like a money laundering thing to me. Like the city, who's getting paid out of that kickback there,
Right.
And you know, so you got a tax base now, that you can verify, with a list of residents of the. But we got over on them though, Mishy, and here's how
Uh-oh.
we got it filled out.
Mhm.
We listed everybody's names and birth dates. Um, and got it notarized, but we didn't list Peanut, Marty, Franny, or Stella. How about that?
Good job.
I you know, I'm easier remembering my dog's birthdays than I am everybody else's birthdays. It's sad to say, but yeah.
Right.
Can you believe that? I lost it, and Lori's like,
All that
"Man,
for a garbage can.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, you got to lighten up, dude." And I'm like, "No, I,
no,
I can't
no,
on this."
it's ridiculous because I don't know. I'm one of those ones where I could have cared less back in the day, but now when I think about it, it's like you already have too much information about me and you want more.
Yeah, yeah. And Emerald's in the chat over here. He's got a point too. His little rant. I'm so sick and tired of everything moving online, and sadly, when given the opportunity to speak to someone, they are completely inept. Bingo,
Oh yeah,
bingo. Yeah.
yeah. We had a good experience this morning dealing with and I hate our electric company with a passion. My grandfather got out of the Navy. He worked for them, but that was back when they were still Detroit Edison. Now they're DTE. Everything you literally spend 20 minutes pushing buttons on a phone, and you may or may not get a human being if you need to. Well,
Yeah.
I was quite frustrated with all the button pushing this morning, and in my case, the girl that came on when they said, "Oh, let us transfer you to a representative," and this girl, she was a sweetheart. I wanted to reach through the phone and give her a big old hug because she did. She was super. I understand, the type. I understand your frustration. I'm sorry about that. Blah blah blah. But I tried to call Friday and handle it, and that's where I learned about we are closed for the national holiday. Goodbye. Click, and they hang up on me.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's like, what national holiday? It's Good Friday. So before I forget, T-Bird's here. And he was popping in during a break at work. And Stackerman is also here.
Thanks, T-Bird.
And don't want you guys thinking we were ignoring you.
Yeah,
yeah. They did that whole national. And when I was a kid, I remember, and in the old, back when the old neighborhood was like a happening place, it's making a comeback, but it's like everybody knew everybody, and the neighborhood shut down at 11 a.m. on Good Friday because everybody was going to one of the Catholic churches there in the neighborhood. They had an everybody's welcome Good Friday service, so they would close, like even the bank and all the businesses there along the business strip there would close from 11 to 1 so that everybody could go to that mass. And and then everything opened back up and they finished their days. But now we don't have any mail service on Good Friday. It's hit and miss with the banks. Some banks were open, some were closed, at least around here.
You guys don't have mail service? Oh, this is okay. Yeah.
On Good Friday.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have mail. There was no mail service on Friday. Or at least in my area there wasn't.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah. And it's like, when did it become a national holiday?
Well, it is, like you said just a minute ago, it's a banking holiday on Monday, right?
You know what? I have no idea. I didn't go anywhere near the bank.
Oh, well, we
No,
went to
it's not.
we went to Lori's, yeah, to get it notarized for our trash can.
And unless it's changed in the last year, it's not a banking holiday either. So on Monday.
Yeah, and I should have thought, because we went to Lori's credit union, her bank, and got our trash can permit. And that's something funny too. Is I was talking to Grandma Cranky the other day, and she had to get something notarized, and her bank doesn't even do it anymore. Apparently, there's kind of a trend for banks not to.
I can say good about one of the only things I can say good about my bank.
Yeah,
that they still do it.
Yeah, mine does too, and so does Lori's. But it's less service, more more charges, things like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's mind blowing. Did you see 365's short video today? I would suggest everybody try and catch that, because I don't know if you've known 365 as long as I have, probably as long as you've been on here, I think. But do you remember back when he did it's been about a year at least, where he had 5,000 pounds he wanted to get out and purchase some silver, and they wouldn't let him have his money.
Yeah.
So he had to transfer it to another bank. Yep. Same thing in today's video, but it was 500 pounds. They had to order the cash, or he had to transfer it to a different account. They are so hosed over there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and folks, if you think it's not, that can never happen here, think again. But I heard today a number of, and I was really surprised. I think it was on Fox News Channel on the radio. The number, the actual figure of $5,000 per troy ounce of gold was going to be the new valuation price. Have you heard anything on that?
Oh, sorry. I have not. Stuff in my face.
I said, for some reason, I had in mind that you had like fruit salad in your mouth there. It just didn't sound like a corn dog. It sounded like
pasta salad.
Okay, there you go.
No, I haven't. Yeah, I've been trying to, stay. And usually on the way to and from work every morning, I have our local or like regional news radio station on, and it's more for the traffic reports than anything else. Am I gonna get stuck in traffic, or am I gonna get home?
Yeah,
I'm supposed to.
That's.
But they've been just it. How our media gets all one-sided about certain things. You're supposed to be neutral. You're supposed to go right down the middle. So I usually end up shutting it off, or my little short playlist I have on my phone. I plug my phone into the car and listen to that on the way home. So I haven't really been paying attention to it. Plus, with all the hours I've been working the last couple of weeks,
you've had to
come home, go to bed, get up, do it over again.
Hey, Chris in Virginia, this I'm not a mod, so I can't put a link up, but this is 365's it's 365 Days of Silver. He's one of the co-founders of the what am I trying to say, Mishy?
Stacker
Social in the UK. It's super bunch of guys, and 365 is I've been very close with him and Stack Collector over there. But he, I've been really concerned about the guys. And FG, you're right, it is worse over there. It's they're in trouble, and now they're arresting people. It's kind of funny that they're arresting people or have threatened to arrest U.S. citizens. Hey, Phoenix Coin, for social media posts that they made in the United States. And Lori and I've always talked about wanting to go over there, but I know I'd step off a plane and get put in jail, because I've been telling these guys seriously. I mean, think about that, because I thought it was funny at first, but I've been telling these guys for a year they need to get on their PMs over there and all the local officials and get them straightened out, because they are, it's not just a social thing that's going on. It's a governmental, I won't say, I won't say it's a tyrannical regime, but it's pretty archaic, if you ask me. It's just nuts, the way they're headed.
I have a very good friend that I got to work with toward the end of my career. He came to the United States from the UK, became a U.S. citizen, and ended up becoming a police officer here. And I tell everybody, because they think, oh, everything's, sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows over in the UK. And it's like, there's people leaving there in by the thousands. Did you ever wonder why? Or
Yeah.
I'll say, hey, have you ever seen the movie Braveheart?
Yeah.
Because that's that's the way it is over there. You can say whatever you want, but if they hear you, but we're free in the UK. No, you're not.
Yeah, no, and that's part of the reason we left your asses.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Does the number 1776 mean anything to you?
Well, and I probably committed the mortal sin in calling on the name of William Wallace in some of my comments, and how they needed a William Wallace over there.
They need something.
I hope they don't send in a Delta team or something to the house and pick me out of here in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me. There's 365 Days of Silver's link. I am a moderator, by golly, and I forgot I had my phone on. So yeah, See, Mishy only picks the best, the most talented, tech sophisticated moderators that he can get, and I am kind of living proof of that. So.
Well, one of my other moderators' schedule changed, so she's never here. So
yeah, I miss her. Being Becky, hi. Well, I got my little rant down. There's it. Come on, how about that? Yeah. Old Sniping Farmers in the house. How about, I got my rant out. How about yours? Your last couple of weeks. What's been going on with you, Mishy?
Lots of stuff that's not fit for YouTube.
Oh, okay. Well, do I need to get a Kleenex for my bloody nose when you're done there?
Let me see here.
Keep in mind your own personal guidelines on your channel.
See how I can G-rate this.
Yeah.
Well, we have a certain group of people, and I don't know what name you would want to give them, that think that the place to hang out is a hospital emergency room.
Yeah.
Let's see, this past 2 weeks, I have been accused of physically pushing somebody out of the emergency department.
Did you? Did they deserve it?
I
can neither confirm nor deny.
But the people that don't realize that the little black box attached to our vests that's blinking at them as they're acting a fool is a camera.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'll just say this: the last 2 weeks, my body camera has been my friend.
Well, good.
But
that's kind of the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Which is,
a lot of people complain about having to wear them, but it's like, just wait for it. And, I was kind of, on the fence about body cameras until one saved my butt the first time. So, but it's been a constant, and of course, they got everybody uptight and justifiably so, but uptight about what happened in Troy a few weeks ago, and
mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're not being as friendly now. We're still being friendly, but not as friendly when you come through the door because we
Well,
don't want any
that's
repeats.
yep, absolutely, absolutely. Well, and that's just another sad statement on where things are at.
Right. And
But
I don't know if I had mentioned this previously. You know what that whole thing was about at Troy, at the
mm-mm.
hospital in Troy? It was between two employees. I know when it went out across the nation, oh, active shooter at the Detroit area hospital. It was an isolated incident between two employees and they had been friends for years outside of work. And the shooter got mad at the victim because the victim didn't invite the shooter to the victim's father's funeral. Since when do we have to invite people to funerals?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
when did it become?
I think I remember you saying that now. Yeah.
Yeah. When did that become a shootable offense?
Wow.
No.
Hey, I want to pick your brain on something here, Mishy.
Okay.
I went to my monthly meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and we have you're familiar with Axon.
Oh yeah.
And Fusion is a camera system that the city is putting in here. And the guy did a presentation on it in our monthly meeting, and it was really impressive. But I want to ask you, because FG Stacker made a thing here, a comment about, yeah, it's the same, body cams are the same as having a dash cam, and I'm thinking, yeah, in security or police work, it's very good, or EMS, whatever,
Yeah.
that's good. But I have mixed emotions about the private side of that. I'm not a big fan of cameras everywhere. I'm a little to the libertarian side of things, and I see that as a potential for infringement, because if they can, they will. And but there's about 300 cameras in Omaha now. They were showing us pictures. They're doing a real-time police center now.
Okay.
Which has like shortened their response time from 11 minutes to like virtually seconds in certain instances.
Okay.
They were showing us pictures of this guy that was a suspect for a carjacking in the vehicle with his window down, looking out the driver's side of the window, and the image was from 2 miles away.
Oh yeah.
Is that not impressive, everybody? I guess my isn't there a potential for abuse in that?
There can be if you have the wrong people running it.
Yeah.
I've had opportunity to talk to, because I know I mentioned it before. A lot of when I go do things, I go down to Toledo. I go to the ball game. I go to the hockey game. They got some. Even though I still say we've got the best pizza in Detroit, they got some pretty good pizza down there too. But you go to these sporting events like Huntington Center for a walleye game, or Fifth Third for a Mud Hens game. TPD has these actual like trailers that they'll pull up in certain areas where like high traffic areas, and they'll it's got like a little thing that pops up that's got a camera on it, and they can surveil that area. Now the intent with those though is we don't have to stick a group of officers at this corner, but they're close by if we need them.
Yeah.
And they're watching that area, making sure people aren't getting mugged, shot, jumped, whatever. And in that instance, or when you have like a special event, you want to, somebody that's, up above the crowd that can see down on what's going on. Detroit started doing that with the fireworks down in downtown Detroit every year. They put these cameras up in the air, and they can see up. They're above everything that's going on. And what was that?
I don't know. It just kind of shows up on my camera every now and then.
But as far as the body cameras go, I know they've got a lock on who can see the stuff in most cases, unless there's like a court order saying to release it. That's one creepy looking something. But yeah, the body cameras, it's have gone a long way toward, like in our case, was it last year? It was a little over a year ago. We got into a knockdown drag out with a guy that was hired in a kite on, enter the list of drugs here. And there were a couple of us got hurt, and it went to court, and I kind of laugh because they're showing the body camera from my camera and then one of my sergeant's body cameras, and the judge is sitting on the bench because this guy, like an idiot, chose a bench trial instead of a jury trial, and the judge is sitting there on the bench going, oh, no, that's not how that, nope, that's not legal. But he made allegations against us, which were obviously proven and have not happened. And everything I said in my report, when I wrote the report, because I was the officer that handled it, you see everything I have listed in my report happened. So the guy ended up going to jail on 6 felony counts. So
nice. Well.
But it's just there's pros and cons to them. Again, I think if you get them in the wrong hands, it can be bad. But yeah, if you're using it to, to collect evidence, for example, I mean, back in the early 90s, it made national news. There was big knockdown drag out fights in downtown Detroit, during and after the big fireworks display, and that made national news, and it took forever for them to catch the people that started the big brawl in Greektown. And I still to this day don't think they got all of them.
Yeah.
But had they had those cameras, it may have been easier to track down who they were looking for. So,
man, I just broke. This is my everyday, one of my everyday carries.
uh-oh.
This is the best everyday carry for just like every little thing you could possibly want a fixed blade for. It's in this. It's a Buck 107, and they don't make them anymore. I just love this thing. But look what happened just now.
We've got to have somebody in the community that does
leather. Could do the leather thing. Well, I'll have to find out.
Who does.
Yeah. It's just, I'm telling you what, man, if anybody ever finds one of those, a Buck 107, if you find one of those, send it to me, unless you want to keep it. I would not, you know what, I wouldn't wager anybody would ever find one. As nice as everybody is, I bet nobody would find one and send it to me because they'd get their hands on it, want to keep it themselves. And I would completely understand. Just do me the favor of telling me that you're not sending it to me, so I know they're still out there. Hi, Mike. Mike's in the house. M had to leave, but Mike is there's got to be some sort of level for the best guys out there that he can be in, because he's always first in. Emerald was, just so y'all know, if you go back on the chat here, Emerald Coast looked like he was first in, but Mike and Mishy were chatting at 10. What'd you say? 10:28 this morning?
No, I just happened when I popped on. I saw that Mike left a comment at 10:28. I was sleeping at 10:28.
See, there you go. See, love it.
When I popped in to get everything set up, I was like, oh wow, Mike was here early. So
nice, awesome. Hey, 210. Well, I'm glad I got to ask you about that security thing, because I just. You know me and my conspiracy theories. You
know what? I understand what you're saying, and it's it in the wrong hands, it can be a bad thing. I totally agree with you there.
Like pretty much.
Fortunately, I've only experienced the good side of it. And but yeah, it's in the wrong hands. Yeah, if they're using it, you know, I'm a firm believer. Yes, I am a prepper of sorts, and the whole, you know, where they keep talking about my theory on the whole, where they keep talking about, oh, we're going to go to digital currency. There's going to be no more paper money. The blah blah blah. That okay, so this, you know, they were experimenting with this Fed Now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get rid of Cash App, get rid of Venmo and PayPal and all that. And here's this Fed Now where everything will go through the Federal Reserve Bank. Okay, so they're going to know what you're buying, how much you're buying, who you're buying it from. And if you make them mad, they can say, well, we're going to cut off your account for so many, you know, for so many months, or
social crediting.
The clothing industry isn't doing well this month, so you have to spend so much money on clothes or we're going to seize your account. And, and
social credits.
I'm nuts for that. But it's the truth. And then when they decide that, I don't know if anybody here has seen the movie Homestead.
I haven't
yet. Seen it yet, but I definitely plan to. I'm probably going to buy the DVD, where the mayor finds out that this guy has a stockpile for his own individual use, and an atomic bomb is detonated in California. Well, they come for his stuff, and he's got to fight for what he's got, because they know he has so many rounds of ammunition and so many weapons and so many cans of corn and so many bags of rice and all this other stuff, because he, you know.
Well, FEMA can take your stuff anyway.
That's what I'm saying. When they show up, and, you know, we're taking your stuff. And it's like, okay, you're not taking what you don't know I have.
Exactly. Yeah. So anything that I've ever done as far as prepper videos on my channel over the last 2 years, just forget it. I was lying. Everybody. Just like, oh shoot. Well, have you get any good pickups this week? I went to my first coin show this weekend.
Okay.
And they weren't there.
Yep, I'm waiting for payday. I know
the guys. Well, they literally weren't there. They had in their ad in the paper that it was going to be Easter Sunday, April 20th, and they weren't there.
Oh, that's not cool.
No, it wasn't. So, I mean, you know, I had some cash on me and everything. I'm so dad burn broke trying to get all this jewelry stuff set up. I'm starting to purchase 20 and 18 gauge 3/9 fine sheet metal.
Wow.
And it's sold by the square inch. So I'm really feeling the need to get into that. I got this matter of fact, I did make a good connection yesterday. After I went over to see that, I went by a shop that has a really nice rock store, and the lady in there said, well, I used to teach jewelry making at a college. And I talked to her for about 20 minutes, and she turned me on to these guys. They do all kinds of lapidary and jewelry and cutting and all that kind of stuff, and selling supplies. But I've got this is aquamarine.
Oh yeah.
And it's a good sized chunk. And then this piece back here is a gem quality. And so I've been thinking, okay, well, I'm going to start doing this, do some bezels, and just cut them and see what happens with that. But that's, that's keeping me in the wish category when it comes to a lot of things. Yeah. But I haven't picked any silver up for a while. Nothing exciting on my.
I haven't picked anything up either, because especially like the last 2 weeks, it's like I said, literally come home, go to bed, get up, and do it over again. So
yeah. Yep. What's that saying from the Walking Dead? Bite, chew, or chew, swallow, repeat.
Right.
talking about
Yeah.
a certain flavor sandwich.
Right. Yep.
So, yeah, that's
But
oh,
yeah, yeah, kind of crazy. I will say this though. I about the only pickup that I can mention. This is nothing to do with precious metals, but I am going to make myself big here for a second.
yeah, do it. Get her
Um,
done.
this is a sticker version, but we've got one of our fire departments that we see quite often at work that they're sucker for anything they can put on a t-shirt to raise money for people that need it. And I'm actually wearing the t-shirt, and my ability to twist into a pretzel is not what it used to be, so can't show you the t-shirt, but I do have the little girl designed that's for their autism awareness campaign for this year, because that's the month of April there. And she designed that, and that's all the firefighters in Inkster are wearing that for the month.
Nice. Yeah, I
And
like that.
they actually make their t-shirts available to the public that want to buy them.
I wonder if you can
And
get that in the kids size.
yeah, and all the money's going to her and her her I don't want to say fight, but her, because she's an amazing kid. I actually got to meet her last week. She's an amazing kid. She's doing really well, but to help her with her needs. And then of course this is what goes on the upper left chest.
Yeah.
So, and
Nice.
the city of Inkster, it ain't the greatest city in the world, but they got some damn good firefighters and cops in that city.
And they got some cool promotional.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got some cool swag. I've got a few of their shirts. Like they do they do the Movember, where all the guys grow the 1970s firefighter mustaches for charity, and they do the breast cancer awareness, and actually that city's about the only one that comes around to everybody. It says, hey, we're selling t-shirts.
Our RPD just recently had they do it every year, and they stock the lakes before they do this, but they call it Cops and Bobbers.
Yeah.
And they take kids out fishing.
Yeah.
That's a really popular one there.
Well, I know we've got, you guys probably have it out there too. It started out as Shop of the Cop and grew into Shop of the Hero, where they'll people make donations, and like the police unions and the firefighter unions will dump money into it, where these kids that wouldn't otherwise have a Christmas get to have a Christmas, where they'll take them to, and here it's show you how long ago I was doing it. We used to take the kids to Kmart.
Oh yeah, that's been a year or two.
And we would take them shopping at Kmart. They would have like $150 to spend, and then Kmart would give each of the kids a brand new bike and a bike helmet and all that. And now it's come up to where they go to Walmart or Target or somewhere like that, or Meijer. We have Meijer stores here. It's like our own regional version, but much better, of Walmart.
Isn't that in Fargo? The movie?
What, Meijer?
Or the series? Wasn't that in I don't know if you saw that or not, but the Meijer stores in anyway.
Well, you've got like Fred Meyer out on the West Coast, but ours is spelled different, and kind of better. But
there you go.
Take them there, and they let the kids shop, and of course, the guys and gals show up with extra money in their pocket, because if they spend over their $150, there's not a single one of us that's going to tell them no.
Yeah.
We just kind of slide some cash across to the cashier. Here, add that to it. So, but that was the big thing here for many, many years. And, it expanded now where, there's just as many firefighters and medics and dispatchers and everybody else that come out to help with it too.
That's cool.
But yeah, we take care of the kids around here,
as it should be.
Yeah.
By golly. Yep. Well, SMC says it's good to hear you miss. You've been missing your videos. You gonna be back on track now, or are you on the?
I'll be back. I'm not going
okay.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. chaotic couple weeks at work, working a ton of overtime, and I just I could
Which, with any
imagine.
luck, won't be taxed this year.
Hey, yeah, that's what I'm hoping. That'd be nice. The But no, it's just I couldn't picture myself coming home, and getting on here and trying to put words together to put out a video that made sense. So I've taken that 2 weeks to just concentrate on getting the work done, and I'll be back soon.
Good. Good. We
Yeah, I'll be
we
back
we
soon.
need
I
you.
just it's because I wasn't able to like go to the coin shops and that. I mean, I've got a lot of catching up to do on videos and stuff, and I know you saw last night. I literally got to pop in for like 10 seconds
Yeah.
on Tully and My Silver Journeys live stream last night. I was like, "Hey, everybody, how you doing?" And then I had to go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I literally got enough time to get in there, hit the like button, say hi, and then I had to split. So,
Well,
and same
we'll
thing
be.
when GSF and Thule were doing their auction the other day. I was like, "Hey, what's up, everybody? Gotta go. Bye."
Yeah.
Gone. So,
Yeah. And by the time everybody's done typing, you're gone for 5 minutes, right?
right.
That's kind of the way it works for me, anyways.
So, because I'm one of those ones where even if it happens to be a work weekend, I still I feel guilty if I don't get in there and at least say hi, because it's not the it's not the same if I don't get my sit back and with MSJ and Thule on Sunday night, or GSF and Thule with their auction on Saturday, or MSJ and Stack Tack on Wednesdays.
Yeah, all
If
three of
if we
those are.
if we don't have that, the day doesn't feel right.
Yeah, all three of those
So,
are like the best out there. I'm telling you.
yeah. So, but I will be back at it soon. I know that I did get a couple emails. Hey, you okay? We haven't seen you in a while. I'm fine. Just getting things
I'm
getting
busy.
work stuff done. And I could imagine coming home and going, "Hey guys, welcome back to the channel." And falling asleep, because it's probably what I would have done. So no, I'll be back soon.
Good.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Actually, a few more days is going to be 1 year. May 1st.
For your channel.
Yeah.
Wow.
Time
Well,
flies when you're having fun.
golly, it just does not even seem like that. You know what's fun, Mishy, is I went back when I hit the 1K. I went back and I still do it every once in a while. I'll go back and pick one of my first videos. Like I went back and watched my very first video. I sounded like a newbie.
Yeah, so did I with mine. Oh, yeah.
And it's pretty funny because I didn't even my very first video is in black and white because I didn't know how to get my phone camera on color. For doing a video, or whatever, how to get it to black and white. I don't know what I did.
Yeah.
I could
Well,
honestly.
I know in my case in my case, I was kind of on the fence about starting the channel anyway. And I had mentioned something to World Money Wins about it. I said, hey, I'm thinking about starting a channel. He goes, well, why think about it? Just do it. Well, I got to get this. I got to get that. No. You just turn your camera on and talk.
Yeah.
And here we are. I haven't shut up since.
And we like it. 210. If that happened to you recently, I've had a whole bunch of people that I've had to resub. He said he got unsubbed from me somehow, and I actually did. I don't pay a lot of attention to it, but I know that I was at 1,041, and like the last week or so, I've gone down to like 1,037 or something like that.
I've noticed
now it's back up to 1,041.
Yeah, if you have the watch in the studio thing on YouTube, I've watched it where it'll say, hey, you've got X amount of subscribers, And then I'll go back a week later and during the course of that week, it says, oh, you got 3 more subscribers, but I'm 5 less in total than what I had, you know. And I understand, you know, and my thing is I'm not gonna make everybody happy all the time. I understand that. There's stuff that people are not gonna agree with me on.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it. And you know what? My thing always is, like, when I get on here and I do a video, I try to make it feel like we're sitting at the table having a cup of coffee, having a discussion, whatever.
Yep.
And you know, you may have opinion A, I have opinion B. Okay, we discuss it, we talk about it. You, at the end of it, you still got opinion A, I've still got opinion B. If you're mad at me about it, okay, that's fine. I still love you.
Yeah, that's the problem.
They haven't taken away from us in this country is the ability to have differing opinions.
Well, but you know, we've almost lost that the ability to
right.
You know, to discuss things, cuss and discuss, as my dad used to say. Well, your approach is working because here's my coffee.
Right.
And if you want to feel like you're sitting at the table next to me, what did you hear the cranky canines in the background there? Marty the Wonder Dog's on point at the door over there.
I'm behaving. I'm drinking water.
There you go. That's not from Flint, is it?
Oh,
I'm
God,
sorry.
no.
I'm sorry. That ain't right.
No, so you can actually see through that. If it was from Flint, it would look.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Home of Verner's Ginger Ale.
That whole debacle, you know, oh my God, there's just no justification for that whole thing.
No,
and you know, take it for what it's worth. I am a registered Republican. I will say that, even though, you know, I'm also one that I can see viewpoints from both sides of the aisle on certain things.
Yeah.
But one of the first people they should throw in prison is that freaking idiot that was our governor when that whole thing was going on. Rick Schneider. Oh, he's the nerd. He's going to fix all the problems in Michigan. I never thought he created more problems in this damn state than the witch that's running our state now.
Yeah.
And yes, you know, like with that, yes, Republican, but, and I know some people will say you can't be both, but Republican, but I support unions. I support people being legitimately being protected from their employer. Not
are you now there's a thing for us to discuss. Are you in favor of public what am I trying to say? Government unions, public service unions.
Here as a law enforcement officer, my union always took care of me because when you work under, if you want to say management or command, in my case, that they thrive on punishing people, they're great.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side of that, when I was in security and fire safety for one of the big three, Chrysler, I watched them take advantage in a bad way of having the union, in the sense of, you've got people, and you can go on YouTube and check out the videos. Guys and gals were going out at lunchtime, going out to the parking lot and having a liquid lunch, and then coming back in and they're trying to build the cars that you're going to go buy. And they get caught, and the UAW comes along. Oh, well, we'll pay for the rehab if you let them keep their job. Okay, no, this person just went out and pounded a 40-ounce Old Milwaukee, and then comes back in, and they're trying to build that. Well, back then it was the 200 and the Avenger that they were building at the plant I worked at. Or when I got promoted and they transferred me, they were building the Dodge Durango and the Jeep Grand Cherokee. These drunk, you know what, are over there on the line building the cars that you want us to buy. I'm supposed to trust that car, but there's another one. There's pros and cons to, but going back to Rick Schneider when he was the governor in Michigan, they put it to a vote among the voters. Do you want to become a right to work state or do you want to stay a union state? The people spoke union state.
Yeah.
Well, he went and totally disregarded that and made us a right to work state anyway.
Huh.
So,
yeah. Well, that's kind of how government works. I got somebody mowing my yard and I'm not actually mowing. Well, can you hang on just a second? I got to investigate what's going on here, folks. And
yeah.
Chris in Virginia, you got a handful of people in here right now that'll get you going on that channel. I would highly recommend it too. Let me run out and I'll be right back.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I think
I'll mute my mic.
I got this thing blocking my comments here. They want me to share a referral link for StreamYard, and I'm not doing it. So if it pops up, I apologize. I'm not trying to make any money off of anybody, but it's blocking my comments here. I have a handful of subs. Don't know how to even see this. Chris, they have a if you're working off your phone, they have an app called Studio, or you can actually go right into it if you're on a laptop or whatever, where it'll show you how many subscribers you have. And if you're not putting up videos, it may not show you any, or you may not have any comments to look at or anything. But yeah, there's a lot of people here that'll definitely a lot of people will definitely help you out. I know I was a rookie. I still consider myself a rookie. So but yeah, we'll all help you out. There's a lot of great people here that, there are people that don't like the term community. Well, we've proved that there's nothing wrong with that word, because we all try to help each other out. You got some goofballs in the community. You got some ones that'll pop in just try to irritate. But for most of us, we'll we got you.
It's great fun, yeah, and by no means, Chris, has everything been said.
No,
I mean, look at me.
You can say, Chris, you can say that everything's been said, but you may have a different aspect of well, for example, I don't know. Oh, how can I put? Okay, here, what? Cranky does a video on this coin, okay, or on this silver coin. Okay. Well, I come along, I do a video on this silver coin. Yeah, it's the same coin, but we have different. We look at it from different aspects and that. And, there may be something I think's really cool on here, and Cranky may have something different he thinks is cool on here. You may come along, hit the same coin, and have a third thought on it that neither one of us said. Everybody, it's coming from you, so it may seem the same, but it's different. So SGT is in the house.
Hey, SGT,
you've been around long enough.
Hi,
you
buddy.
know who some of the goofballs are. I don't call out by names, but we got people in here that, depending on what direction the wind's blowing and who's doing the live, they've got about 50 different names that they use for when they get up in the comments over there. We got trolls around here. Just don't let the trolls get to you. Just have fun with it. Like World Money Wins told me when I started, you don't have to do anything spectacular. Just get on there, turn the camera on and talk. And that's
it's actually kind of therapeutic sometimes. It's kind of therapeutic sometimes. It's a very good outlet for those of us with no life.
Well, so it's fun to see that that there actually are people that have the same viewpoint on things as you, and even if they don't, we get on here and we have discussions all the time amongst everybody here on YouTube, and nobody goes away mad. I know.
Yeah, rarely.
I know I've had some people that I've had to deal with that have made complete and total butts out of themselves on here. But that's just because those are the people that have absolutely no life. They thrive on coming on here and getting in the comments and trying to make the people in the live streams say things they wouldn't normally say by changing their name in the comments.
We might get you out of here a little crankier than when you came in, but
right. Or
like I always say, nothing helps a bad mood like spreading it around.
Or what was the one that went off on a tangent on 3 or 4 different people's pages because we censored something they said.
Yeah, well, I haven't.
Goes with the service. I still.
But even those guys.
I think because that was actually a live stream where it was Cranky Tooley and the guy said something very off color that's not appropriate for a guy to say to a lady, and he got checked on it and he pouted. I think he's probably still pouting about it, but I didn't care.
yeah, and that's but that's you're gonna have that. So you'll have that, as my oldest son says, you'll have that kind of thing from time to time on some of them bigger jobs.
Right.
But it's a good bunch of folks.
Oh,
yeah. Very definitely. Well, that was kind of weird. I wonder where he came from. It's a little gnat or something on my coffee cup. Yeah. Tis the season. We've gone from gnomes to gnats. And nothing's GNU. There's
Cranky, you just aged yourself, brother.
There's one for you. That one was for Mike.
Because I knew what you were talking about.
That one was for Mike because he said the best a while back here in the chat. He said most of the best movies are in black and white. Now, I was kind of laughing to myself. It's like heck, half my at my age, half my memories are in black and white. It was like,
well. I'm one of those ones that I tell everybody, all these babies that I work with, around Christmas time, they're like, oh, it's not Christmas unless you see this movie, that movie, or this movie. I said, no, it's not Christmas. It's not Thanksgiving. It's not Christmas until you see the original black and white Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Not the colorized version, not the new one.
Yeah.
The original.
Not a big fan of the colorized versions of things.
No, me either. And then they've lost all originality in Hollywood. Let's make remakes of movies.
Yeah, well, there's nothing fresh there anymore.
No.
They're if it worked before, it's supposed to work again.
Yeah, or they're coming out with and I'll go see it just because I want to see how bad they screw it up. They're doing a 5th Lethal Weapon movie.
I think I heard that. And
it's like Danny Glover's like 90 now?
104.
Right. Yeah. He was complaining when he was 40 that he was too old for that ish. Now he's gonna try to do it again.
It's like Pacino and De Niro and those guys. Come on, just go home. Stay home. I mean,
right.
They're right up there with Gene Hackman. And
last time I saw Joe Pesci, I know he's not. No.
Yeah, he's not the tough guy anymore.
Kind of scary. It's the best looking one out of all of them is Mel Gibson, and I know he's getting up there too.
Shots, they didn't bother me. Yeah, it does. Color does take away from the movie. By the way, speaking of good things to watch, we talked earlier about, you were talking about what was that movie you were talking about, or series? Doggone it. Something that you watched. Well, anyway.
Well, I know when I was at work, I watched all 6 seasons of Third Watch.
Oh, okay. No, that's the one from Angel Studios. The Chosen. I'm hearing really good things about.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a post-apocalyptic from post.
When I was talking about the movie Homestead.
Yeah, Homestead.
Yeah,
That I
I've
want
seen
to
it.
that I want to see. I've heard good
Yeah.
stuff about that.
Yeah.
The Chosen I've heard is really really good, and we just watched. It's on Prime. And no, I'm not paying for Prime. Lori's daughter is. Uh, uh, the House of David. It's a single season, and it was 6 episodes, and we
Yeah.
watched it in like 2 days. It was really good.
I
Not
heard good things about it.
exactly. Yeah, not exactly. I mean, there's some Hollywood in with the
Oh yeah, there's
in
always gonna be
in
that.
in with it, but it was pretty accurate. And it was a well done story. So um those we're going to start, I think, The Chosen later on tonight,
Yeah.
but that's
Well,
what
one
we
of the things that I cannot wrap my mind around paying for streaming services. Uh, I just it's stuff that used to be free. They want you to pay $19.99 a month for
yeah.
now. Or they get you hooked on a television show on regular TV, and starting Monday, you have to watch this show on Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm not
Yellowstone
watching that.
did that with all their series, and that just absolutely that Lori did not do well with God's test on that one that day. You found out
Right.
Paramount Plus,
The
and then you got 1883. You still got to pay for, but you don't 1923, and then it's like, come on, man, it's all about. And you know what? I commented on it the other day. It's like, you may as well. My Cox cable bill was $300 before we cut the cord.
Oh yeah.
And now with all the streaming services and everything, you still either have to pay, like she's got a list in her phone of old numbers. See you 210. Thanks for coming in, man. Uh, she's got a list of old movies that she wants to watch, and you go on Prime or wherever, and you got to pay for it wherever it is.
Oh yeah.
Still the movie's 30 years old, and it's still $4.99. It's like, come on, man.
Right, exactly.
Um,
And you know what? I've got Tubi. It's on my phone. It's free,
yeah,
and it's
that's a
all
pretty
like
good.
old TV shows. I back around Christmas time, I watched all six seasons of Chips.
Yeah, there you go. See,
It's like,
I mean,
hey, blast from
the
the
old
past.
stuff's
But I will
the
say
good stuff.
this, and this is talking to some of the people at work, like the docs and the nurses and that. I may actually come off my wallet to get Max because I want to watch The Pit.
The Pit.
The Pit. It's a new series that's on Max. Noah Wiley is one of the main characters in it. He was the young guy on ER.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You got to follow him through his internship residency, and then when he was running the ER there for a while, he is the chief of emergency medicine at this hospital in Pittsburgh. It's a level 1 trauma center, and all you hear, and this I've even heard this from the people at work where I'm at. They says the most realistic TV show they've ever seen that portrays a hospital emergency department. And they
I'll
bring
be
up
critiquing that one.
Issues.
Yeah.
Where we're sitting on they're sitting on ICU holds for 3-4 days because they don't have a bed to put them in, or you got people that should be up on the floor in a unit that are still in the ER because they don't have enough nurses upstairs to take care of the patients.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, or even them getting all these. They've got a whole fresh class of interns that just walk through the door, and okay, buckle up, get ready, because pardon the expression, shit's about to get real because we got a mass shooting and they're all coming here.
Mm-hmm.
And,
that sounds.
Doctors and nurses, ER docs, ER nurses, and that they're all saying the same thing. This thing is like as real as it gets. The most realistic they've seen ever.
Nice. That's
short
cool.
of the old Trauma Life in the ER that used to be on A&E.
Yep.
Back in the day, or TLC, or whatever they were calling it back then. But I may actually come off my wallet and pay the money to just to
I,
see that.
I'm not a big Billy Bob fan. And I, to be honest with you, I got to say this while it's on my mind that, you know, all the Yellowstone 1923 and all those,
Yeah.
those are really well done series, but there's times in there when you just got to get up and leave the room
Right.
because of all the gratuitous perverted sex stuff. It's ridiculous. It doesn't add anything to it. It's maddening. Because other than that, it's really enjoyable. But you know, but Landman looks like a really good series to me.
You know, I saw a couple
I'm
of
saying,
clips of that.
yeah.
It's nice to see him play a serious role for once.
Well, I watched
where
a
he's-
movie. You remember the guy that was in Mad Men?
Yes.
Okay, he's in an episode, and I watched a scene last night that dang near brought me to tears. It was he's in the hospital, and Billy Bob walks in, but it's John Hamm is the guy's name. Thank you, Miss Lori.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So John Hamm's in the hospital bed. Billy Bob's sitting over on the side, and Jerry Jones is sitting there talking about how he got started, and it's the real Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Talking about how he really got started and what his, you know, and it's a moving scene, dude. And he really seriously looked like he was about in tears in this scene. I'm like, man, I got it. That was a good scene. So I even thought about buying a Dallas Cowboys jersey after that.
No, don't do that.
But I didn't. Hey, 3D Woodworks. All I got to do is go to my oldest grandson's house. He's got Jerry Jones and the crew all over. There's plastered all over his walls down there. But I do have a pretty cool granddaughter-in-law too.
Yeah.
She's a big motocross fan. She's
Okay.
she knows all the pros, and she gets fired up on that stuff. It's pretty funny. We kind of sit and watch her get all boinkers on these guys when they make mistakes and they're riding and all that. It's pretty neat.
Well, I used to be big time.
And she's a good mom.
But it's not a thing anymore.
What is?
Snowcross.
Oh.
Yeah,
you haven't had any
games now. It used to be a big thing, you know, but we don't see that.
Haven't had any snow. Enough snow,
no,
have you?
They used to truck snow into the Pontiac Silverdome. For that.
Whoa, okay, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like motocross, but it was on snow. You know, with snowmobiles and you know, some of the big name guys, and I kind of quit paying attention to it after. Well, first off, my favorite guy jumped ship and went to the enemy as far as manufacturers was concerned. And then he was getting ready for an upcoming season and had an accident and ended up paralyzed from the waist down. So he quit riding. But yeah, snowcross used to be a big thing around here, and the motocross. I mean, they used to come 4 or 5 times a year, you know, to the Metro Detroit area, and it was usually the Pontiac Silverdome when it was still in existence because they had the room. But yeah, it's like when they do Monster Jam now, they do it at Ford Field, and you know, we're waiting for the trucks to smack the ceiling in Ford Field because it's just there's no room.
You got 8'9" ceilings and
yeah, right. Well, the one that really cracks me up, and I mentioned it in one of my first quote unquote Michigan on the Town videos I did, that they do Monster Jam down at Huntington Center there in Toledo, and it's where they play hockey. They can only run one truck at a time because it's so small. It's like, why do you even bother?
Yeah, that's kind of out of contrary to the spirit of the thing, ain't it?
Yeah. Usually there's some kind of competition there. But,
I don't know. Can you see how many likes are out there? We got 5 in.
I cannot because I'm on StreamYard. I'm
5 in and 5 likes. There you go.
Okay.
That's it.
Yep.
That's all right.
A lot of people. We usually pop on here. It's dinner time for a lot of people, and
yeah. Being
you know,
Becky said she's
in the country, and
she's got to let the pups out.
Yeah, you guys are coming up on. Dinner time out your way, or
yeah. gotta feed the cranky canines, and uh, yeah, that's gonna be that's always fun.
Oh,
I just love those. I'm so happy to meet Chris the last couple of days, Chris in
yeah.
Virginia, because he commented on that short I had with the dogs, the girls sleeping after a hard day's work the other
Oh,
night,
yeah. It's just, you know,
and
just want to reach down and hug them.
they seriously are the sweetest. They're just, well, I'll tell you what, they protect their mama. They
Oh, yeah.
they're all about that stuff, which is good. Hey Stan, good to see you, man. Um, eight eight in and 17 likes. Chris says, well, mine's, yeah, cool,
Okay.
very good.
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot
So
of people will come back and watch the replay, you know, because they got stuff going on.
yep,
It's
it's a real
late
life
night,
thing.
and 7:16 p.m. our time. So
It's a good thing. I
yeah,
think we're starting to get some traffic moving around in the kitchen and dining room here, so I
there
probably
you
ought to
go.
go get some things going on
Yes,
too. But
sir. It's about
um,
dinner time for you and to Pooches.
well, I've got, as I've said before, I've got a couple of special projects in the works. I've had to modify some things, but um, everybody, and you know what? All that aside, that's all fine and good and all that, but
Mhm.
there's a very very good friend of all of ours who I would really just like to say maybe everybody go see. Pick a video or hit it on play all if you're driving someplace and all that. Go get Thule's been working a lot of hours,
Yeah.
and to hasn't been able to put a lot of videos out. So don't say nothing to her or anybody. Just go click on play all and turn your phone on overnight while it's charging and play some hours for her. So she can get some view hours. How about that?
Yeah.
And don't tell her I said anything. So we'll see how
Well,
that
it was kind of
goes.
funny. I went through.
Hey,
Well, this
check
was a few.
stacker.
There was a few months ago. It had to be a few months ago. I went through and because I don't even remember how the heck it happened. So she popped up in my suggested videos, and I'm like, oh wow, cool. Because my thing is, there are not a lot of female stackers, or
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
will and not and definitely not a lot to get out here on YouTube. I'm like, oh wow, cool, okay. There actually are female stackers with channels. So I clicked on it, and you know what was kind of that's how I found you too, because the video that they suggested was when you were taking your medical hiatus, and she was hooking up your
Oh
channel
yeah,
while you were gone. And
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
all right, yeah, this is cool. Well, then I started going back to the beginning for her and watch, and I didn't even think about it. I commented on a video. She's like, how far back did you go?
Yeah,
Or something to that effect.
as
Because it was
far
like
as I needed to.
one of the first or second videos she ever put out.
Yeah,
And
that was. I remember when she started. I mean, you know,
yeah,
we started pretty close to the same time, and I
what?
it's that the class of that year and the year following was pretty good class.
Yeah.
I will say that. So, well, I better get on over here and get these critters taken care of, and
Yes.
we'll do this again in a couple of weeks
Yes,
and
sir.
see if we can solve all the world's problems again
There you go.
or not, um, or just even barely get there. That's okay too these days. If I barely make it, that's a good day for me.
Well, we're doing what we got to do.
That's right. That's right. And next time, maybe I'll have some new stuff, some new pours or some new silver or something that
Yeah,
I
that's
can
what I'm
show
hoping
off,
to
and
do.
you can
Mine
show
too.
off from some new stuff for
It's
you. Oh, by the
it,
way, if everybody, I almost forgot to mention this. I have there's four P-loaf Englehards, and they're not waffleback. They're nothing really special, but they're holding them for me. And I was going to mention that, and I forgot to. They're holding them for me at one of my local shops because um, I'm not a big Engelhard fan, and I can take it or leave it. I know a lot of people do, but I saw these and I wanted to give everybody the opportunity. If you want me to pick them up for you and ship them out, then I can do that. But there's two in particular that I was thinking about picking up anyway, and I can't see them sitting in a shop or going to somebody who doesn't really care about it. I'd really like to see that kind of thing go to the right home, somebody that appreciates them. And two of them are sequential. So
Nice.
finding two sequential Engelhard vintage bars in the wild is kind of a rarity for me.
Right.
But it's the same shop as had that Simmons bar, that 10-ounce Simmons that I had
Nice.
picked up. So yeah, so if anybody's interested, email me. It's crankystacker@gmail.com, and we'll work out some details or whatever. But anyways, that's about all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
So, all right, Mishy, I love this time, man. Really do.
Yeah, me too, man. It's and like for those of you that are new to it, yeah, we get on here and talk about everything. It doesn't have to be, just metals and stuff. We, why the grass is green and the sky's blue, and all that stuff too. Just sometimes it's nice to take a break from because the metal thing, it can get stressful. With we do have a lot of doom and gloomers out there, and that's not us. So
yep, that's right.
We can get you away from the stressful part of it. Just have some laughs, talk about whatever, and that's part of the fun of being here. So, all right, we're gonna Cranky's gotta feed the guard pups and himself, and I'm gonna go do the same thing. Well, not feed the guard pups. I got the guard kitty here somewhere that's gonna start meowing in a minute because
they're demanding, aren't they?
He hasn't eaten in 5 minutes. So
yeah. Yeah.
But,
yeah.
All right, everybody. We're gonna wrap it up for tonight. Cranky, as always, it's a pleasure.
Absolutely, pleasure is mine.
We'll do it. We do this for those of you that are new to it. We do this every 2 weeks because I actually work every other Monday, so we do it on my Mondays off, and we'll see in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna say this as always: keep stacking, keep hunting, and we'll see you in the next one. And Cranky.
Yep. And I realized I had started this from my very first video too. Stay safe, shoot straight, keep stacking, stack the right stuff, y'all. I'm out.
Have a good night, everybody. Mishy's out.